Hello everyone, welcome back to Fireman Pete's Fire History. First of all, before I start, I'd like to thank all of the listeners and viewers that endured this sit at the edge of your chair with anticipation of fire science knowledge. I think we were sitting at the edge of our chair so we can quickly get up and get a snack. But anyway, thank you for enduring that. It's kind of dry, it's not exciting, but hopefully, and some of it that's important to you, obviously, will be retained, remembered, and maybe even passed on to the next generation. I think I might have mentioned one time, a different talk ago, we don't remember a lot from things we learned, although probably the knowledge is in there, but we don't remember it. Like I can't remember what I had for supper 2 nights ago, and it's probably not that important. But I hope you remember something out of what we talked about, and it could be used to do something positive when it has to do with fire for you in the future. Now that I'm over that, I'm going to move on to what we would consider early firefighting. The first dedicated fire brigade was started by Benjamin Franklin in 1736 in the city of Philadelphia. At that time, there were fire marks. You might see some. If you go to Philadelphia, the Old Town section, they might still have some on some of their buildings. They're sort of an oval plaque that would be mounted on the house in a very prominent area so you could see it easy. And these were fire insurance companies that provided this fire mark and identified your house as part of their insurance company. And the insurance companies, of course, some of the volunteer fire departments were assisted financially by this insurance company. So theoretically, if you had a fire in your house, that insurance company department would respond and attempt to put out your fire. But if the house next door happened to be on fire and they did not have that fire mark on their house, it could have been a different one or none at all. Firemen would just protect the exposure, the house that had the fire mark that belonged to the fire insurance company that assisted them financially, and they would do nothing. And of course, that's obviously not the way firefighting is supposed to be done or what firemen would do when it's an emergency. Certainly not today. City of Boston. Now, we know Boston's a really old city. They had the first paid fire department, and we're going back to 1679. And Boston also had the first fire prevention system by outlawing wood chimneys and thatched roofs, and that was in 1631. So you could see that how the wood chimneys and the thatched roofs became a bit of a problem. In New Amsterdam, which was now we know is New York City, the colonies had their first firefighting system in 1647. On there was the Rattle watch, and if you hold on a second, I'll get my rattle. I found it, and I'm going to give you a little sound bite on as to how it works. You may have to cover your ears a little bit because it's quite noisy, but this is kind of like what it would sound like early in the Bucket Brigade days when the fire watch or the people patrolling these small little towns or a grouping of homes, what it would sound like if there was a fire. So here goes. All right, ready? Fire, fire, fire! Throw out your buckets, throw out your buckets! Fire, fire! So that would be roughly what it would sound like and what would go on when that was happening. Anyway, on top of that, remember I said there was a lot of confusion, people yelling, the streets, it was a quiet night, but then before you know it, people are doing their bucket brigade setup. There's a lot of yelling going on, doing this, doing that. So this carried on through the years in the volunteer days where they used the speaking trumpet. It's kind of like a bullhorn that we would have today, but the officer would be able to shout out orders to his men when they were operating the hand pumper. We'll just start with the hand pumper, but it would work in coordination as well as with the early truck companies, even the horse-drawn era. So anyway, here's roughly what it would sound like. Okay, you guys, bring the pumper up closer, closer, get it to the fire. You guys on the brink, start pumping. Pump it up and down. Faster, faster, men. We need the pressure. Faster, faster. Okay, you guys, let's go. Bring the hose in. Hurry up. Get it in there, guys. Hurry up. It's burning. People need to be saved. Fire, fire. Get it in there. Okay. Move up. Break. Guys on a break. Keep pumping. Keep pumping. We need all the pressure we can get. So anyway, that's kind of a rough idea, a simulation that could have transpired when fire in the early days broke out and orders had to be passed on, or the guys doing the job had to be directed as to what to be done, when and how and where. Now, I did a little research that there was an early woman firefighter in New York City. I found out that in 1818, a woman named Molly Williams was the first known woman firefighter in New York. And her job basically was to assist the male firefighters drag a pumper to whatever fire they were responding to. And she obviously must have done it really quite well because she was fairly well known at the time. Also in the 1800s, a blacksmith named Patrick Lyon of Philadelphia patented a hand pumper that was the most powerful in the U.S. at the time, and also built the first hose wagon, which brought hose so it could be used off the pumper. His best hand pumper that he built, named the Diligent, and even when it was 32 years old, this old hand pumper outperformed a new Cincinnati-built steam pumper. It was in a contest in 1852. So I had mentioned about the hand pumper with 10 men on each brake and 10 men on each side in reserve. That pumper working ferociously, working as fast as they could pump a hose stream every bit as good as a modern pumper today. So I guess I wasn't too far off the mark on that one. So thanks for listening again. I hope you guys had a good. Please come back for our continuation next session. And stay well, take care, and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye now.